It is straight up news. And thank you all for being here. And we need to be talking, like I said, this happens every summer where the attendance. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Everyone wants to do other things, right? And we don't have any June gloom right at the moment, which is awesome. Okay, should we go ahead and get started? Yeah. Okay, I need some serious energy from y'all since there's hardly anybody here.
Yes, woo!
We're live, bright, and full of energy. All right, coolio, Mr. Chris Vogt. So today is Tuesday, 6/24. Hey, Daniel, how are you? 6/24/25. You know what next Monday is?
July 1st.
Not yet. Tuesday, July 1st. So a week from today is July 1st. We're halfway through the year. So really, I was talking about it on Morning Mindset this morning. Really take this time to reflect, figure out where your business is, okay? Are you on track? Is there a gap? Are you ahead of the game? Blah, 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 blah. And I know you all track your numbers, so you know exactly how many contacts it takes to set an appointment, to close a deal, so on and so forth, right? So you know what adjustments need to be made. So we're going to be putting, hey, Alan, you have a new son-in-law.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Yeah, so his daughter got married over the weekend. It's the wedding season. So
Yep.
congratulations. But this is the time. If you all are taking your business seriously, then take your business seriously. Okay. So if you need help trying to go through your numbers, reflect, figure out, because right now, starting next Tuesday, however you do it, I don't care whether you're taking vacations or doing whatever, right? You still adjust the days that you're working, know the days that you're not working, and figure it out because you have these next 90 days to end the year strong, right? So third quarter is paramount in your business. Hey, Tim.
Hey.
Is paramount in your business. Oh, congratulations, Tim got his first listing. Woo! So that's a little yeehaw, right? You want me to break out in Morgan Wallen song? No. Do y'all know who
We
Morgan
should
Wallen?
have champagne over here every meeting.
I'm totally down for that.
All
Those of you who know me, if we have wine or champagne, it's a good day, right?
the congratulations, deserve champagne.
Yeah, for sure, right? Fred, where were you when I needed you? Okay, so yeah, so really take this time and, because then also figure out, right? So this is a time as well to reflect on those of you who have listings. How long have your listings been on the market? Right? Do we need to make any adjustments? What kind of conversations do we need to have with our sellers? So on and so forth. So before, I'm getting ahead of myself. We haven't even got to the motivational moment, right? But I put this here because it is time to be disciplined at the highest level, right? I'll read it.
Or noon, that's what I read.
Well, all depends on what time zone you're in. Right? I just say, wake up, man. Wake up and go for it. Discipline is explaining to your brain. Hey, Mark, how are you? We have food. Right. Discipline is explaining to your brain that you need to sacrifice immediate pleasures for greater rewards in the future. Right? So what are those disciplines that you need? Remember, in our industry, we have 5 income producing activities. That's it. 5. Where are you focusing? Are you focusing on the minutia? Like, oh, my website's not pretty enough, right? Oh, I need to add a different color to my flyer. That's not generating you business, right? What are the 5 income producing activities? Please, someone recite them to me. Oh, God.
Follow-ups.
Lead generation is number 1.
Okay, let me help you all out. Chris? Okay.
Lead gen is number 1.
lead follow-up, going on appointments, negotiating contracts, and script and role play. And some of you are just like, I know what to say. Do you? Do you really? Right? Because we all have scripts, we all have a dialogue, but is it the one that's going to be most effective for you? Right? Are you intentional about the questions that you are asking? Right? Do you have the discipline to do the income producing activities? Right? Everyone has a different one thing. So what is your one thing? How a great one thing would be having real estate conversations with X amount of people every day. Right? One of the things that I brought up this morning is y'all should know how many contacts that you need to make on a daily basis, 5 days a week, to get you the results that you want. Sometimes we have to tweak it, right? So that's why you track it, so you know exactly what needs to be done. So if, for example, you're like, well, Steph, I don't want to call every day. Okay. Let's say, for example, you have to make 50 contacts a week. If you want to have your lead gen time 3 days a week and figure out the numbers on that, then do that. Right? It doesn't have to look a particular way. You just have to plug these activities in your business with being consistent and persistent to get the results that you want. Fair enough? Okay. So discipline is explaining to your brain that you need to sacrifice immediate pleasures for greater rewards in life in future. You all can be disciplined from 9 to 5, or from the moment you wake up in the morning till noon, and then you can do whatever the flip you want the rest of the day. But it's the discipline to get it done. And that is my segue.
Oh boy. To me.
To Mr. Chris Vogt, our consulting and coaching bro.
Bro? Is that you said bro?
Broker.
Is it bro or bruh? Hey, bruh.
Broker. I had that was hiding where I have the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, anyway.
Yeah,
I thought it
cool.
was funny. I'm the only one that thought that.
I could be bro, I could be broke, I could be broker. All right, can everyone hear me?
I didn't realize that. Yep.
Okay, awesome. So happy so this would make this, let's see, the 25th week of the year then, if next week is the last week, or if this is the last week of the year. Right?
Yep.
26 and 26, 52.
Yep.
So yeah, so before I jump into this, couple things popped into my head around that word discipline, and the quote that you had there, Steph. So one of them was sort of an analogy, analogous quote or a thought is short-term pain, long-term gain. The other one, whenever I hear the word discipline, is this. Is that discipline is the bridge between being average and being great. So with that said, here we go. So happy June 24th. As promised, CAR released some forms today. I'm not going to take a lot of time unless you all have a whole bunch of questions, which, by the way, I have RPA training both today and Thursday from 1 to 2:30. So just know we'll be covering some of the new updates there as well. But one of the things that you all should have, so I'm just going to go over a couple of little tips now that the new release has come out. Now keep in mind there's a handful of new forms. For those of you that were on some of the trainings I've done over the last few weeks, there's a handful of new forms. And then there's numerous revisions to a plethora of forms, okay? So by now you should know what those are because you either attended one or both of the trainings that I did. You attended something that CAR provided and or maybe something the board provided. So if you haven't received any training at this point, Stephanie will say, shame on you. Okay. So a couple things, make sure, so if you have your template set up in Zip Forms, the templates themselves should update with the new forms automatically. So the templates will. But let's say that I have a buyer transaction. I've been writing offers with Kurt Kubler, and we haven't landed a property yet. And I go in to write an offer today. If I use an existing form in that transaction file, it will be the old RPA, the old BRBC, whatever the case may be. So just make sure that you're double checking to make sure that you have the most updated forms. If you work with a transaction coordinator, which most all of you do, please make sure your TC is aware of the changes, and you're not just hopeful that they're aware of the changes. It's your job as their leader to make sure that they understand what the changes are and have been all about. Okay, so make sure that you're teaming with your transaction coordinator, and you're making sure that you're updating your practice based around some of the changes. So with that said, you all received from your market center, after I did the couple of trainings a few weeks back, an email with a whole bunch of stuff, links to the new forms, the draft of the new forms. You received a video link to the class that I did. And then you also received, hang on here one second, I'm going to show it to you. And if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about right now, again, Stephanie would say, shame on you. Okay, so this is June, this is the release. So if it were me, and by the way, even though I'm a broker, and I help many of you in your world, I, as you know, run my own real estate company. So everything that I advocate to you, we literally have already done. Okay, so I'm not telling you to do something that we don't do. So the first bit of information I ever get from CAR, aside from assimilating the information myself, we immediately team with the rest of the agents who work with us. And then we also loop in our transaction coordinator so that we are all on the same page. Because remember, the fiduciary duty is owed by you, the agent, and your transaction coordinator is there to help support you. It's not his or her job to take over the fiduciary role. So if it were me, and this is what we've done, we've provided all of our team members, whether they're agents or our transaction coordinator, this little quick summary of the 2025 forms release. Okay, I went over this extensively in training, but this is the form code, this is the form name, this is the version that's replaced, and then what was actually changed on the form. Okay, so this is the laundry list, and what I would do, and we've done, is we've looked at the most substantial changes on this, and we've highlighted those. So for example, one of the biggest changes or additions in an advisory is the SIPA. Who can tell me what the SIPA is? What does SIPA stand for?
Seller in possession.
You're close. That's the SIP.
Advisory.
There you go. Okay, the SIPA. Okay, the SIPA form is a new form. How do you know that? Well, because you were trained on it if you showed up. If you didn't, Stephanie would say, shame on you. But you'll see here that it's a new form. So here's a question for you all. Let's say you're representing a buyer or a seller, doesn't really matter, and there's going to be a post-close of escrow seller in possession. And you use the SIP, the seller in possession addendum, or you use the RLAS if it's more than 29 days. Okay. The seller in possession advisory. When should the client see this advisory? What would be the timing of this advisory?
Before any of that happened.
Before any of that happens, says Linda. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. So here's what we should not see in the files, because honestly, this is an invitation to a lawsuit. So you get a ratified contract in which there's a post-close of escrow deal going on. And then about 2 weeks later, your TC sends over a seller in possession advisory, keeping in mind the parties have already agreed to the terms. And now you're telling your client, hey, there are risks associated with doing that. If that deal ever blows up post-close of escrow, they will use that document and the timing of that document to show that you didn't do your job properly. You did not advise them of the risks of seller in possession post-close escrow until after they came to the agreement. Okay, so it's not just the document, y'all, it's the timing of the documents. Okay, so just think about it like this. If you were the consumer, when would you want to receive the information before you made a decision? So I digress. So just know that you have an extensive list of all the forms that have been updated. Now, the good news is many of these don't apply because if they're property management related, they don't apply. Okay. And there's a myriad of property management type documents here that won't apply, and then some other ancillary. So go through the list if you've not done it already. Make sure you understand what the changes are. Make sure you're reading the forms. We're coaching a brand new agent in the business, very sharp young man. And no kidding, we keep telling him just read the form first, because if it says disclosure at the top of the document, what is the document?
Disclosure.
It's a disclosure. Yeah, there's no tricks here, right? If it says advisory, it's an advisory, right? So literally, and you'll see that for those of you who've already either attended class or read the documents, you'll see, for example, the addendums and amendments that have been modified. You'll see that there's instructions and notes for agents to follow at the top of those forms. But if you don't read it, you'll do it incorrectly. Okay. So that little document you should have. If you don't, you can either go to CAR or you can ask your wonderful staff to resend you the email that they already sent you previous. Also, and I'm going to stop with this, as of July 1st, any of the transactions that are closing that are subject to the fire hardening requirements, you will need an updated form. So if you have something in escrow now that was built before January 1st, 2010, subject to a TDS, and it's in a high or very high fire area, you will need the updated form if it's going to close after July 1st. That's the law. That's not my thing. That's what the law says. Okay. And again, for those of you that attended class, you know what that all that red was on the new requirements in terms of potential upgrades that a seller has made that they have to make some check boxes on yes or no. So anyhow, that's all I have. Any questions on anything before you all move on with the team meeting?
Any questions?
Great. The reading will set you free. So Stephanie, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, you all know that I'm gonna lecture a little bit here, and I know that I'm probably lecturing to the people that don't need the lecturing, because the people that need the lecturing are the ones that aren't here. Because
That's fun. That's funny.
So a couple things. I want to stress upon you all that, remember, the TC is not the agent in the transaction. Aren't the donuts in that? Do you remember that? You all know that you're the agent, you're the one that gets paid the big bucks, you're the one to know everything. Yes, we want to make sure that they're up to date. You know, hey, attend this training. The training that Chris does is he does it every Tuesday and Thursday, right? And he goes through a multitude of things. So please remember, have your TC jump on that, because there's stuff that's always constantly changing. Like, I'm still behind the 8 ball on this stuff, which is frustrating to me, because it's, but it's taken the time to make sure that we know our shit, because we, especially the what is it called? The tagline, I guess, for our office is setting the standard. We set the standard on the professionalism of real estate agents in the industry and in our community and in Southern California. Right. So we all want to represent to the highest level on what we're doing. And I share with people all the time that just know your stuff. Please, right? And that's what will separate you from the rest of the people. You will, right, we talked about that too, I think. The cream rises to the top. So really the people that have a high level of understanding and transactional management and can truly consult their client are the ones that are going to stand out. Right? And they're the ones that will continue to give you the referrals and so on and so forth. And the other thing, let me just say the obvious, it's your job. It's your job. Like, can you imagine if you went and worked for, you were a high level exec, who's this person? Okay, all right. Oh yeah, I have an announcement for that too. Okay, so a high level, let's say you got hired to, because you all are CEOs, right? Are you all CEOs of your own company, multi-million-dollar company, right? It takes 1 or 2 sales and you already have a multi-million-dollar business because you live and work in Southern California, right? So let's say you really worked for an employer and they said, oh, hey, come into my office and explain the contract to me. Do you think that if you couldn't explain how to write a contract for whatever business, XYZ business that was, that you would be coming in to work the next day? Yes or no?
No.
Yeah, thank you. So that's how serious that I want you all to take your business, because you all are so amazing and just take pride in what you do and know that you're deserving of the money that you get. Right? So I just want to say that. And then also, I'm going to just say some announcements before we start bringing up all our guests. As a reminder, remember we have Chris, who's our consulting and coaching broker. Okay, if you have questions or need anything, please reach out. Obviously, you know, you can always reach out to me, but reach out to Chris. If you're going to choose a broker to reach out to, and then we have Nina, who is, one of your PR. You guys are here. Okay. So, and then Nina is our broker of record, right? So if you need your license, certified or whatever, because a lot of people are renewing their license right now, that type of thing, or new agents, then you email her for that stuff. But I just want to keep in mind that Chris is our consulting and coaching broker. Fair enough? Okay, cool. And then I know some of you are irritated at the fact that our doors are locked. Get over it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. But anyway, I'll give you a further explanation. We're doing it as a precaution, as safety. Have you noticed that the world's a little cuckoo outside? Right? So and sometimes we get people like, I always give full disclosure. Right? I have nothing to hide. So what I did, just to make sure that we're protected, because if someone comes in that's not affiliated with us, we have a letter of agency on file with the sheriff's department. So if someone trespasses, and like I had someone like really get in my face, I had to have a guy step in front of him. This was 3 years ago. No, longer than that. Shit. When we were remodeling, remember we were over there, and I had a rep from Property ID come in and it was almost an altercation. He was in my face. Max, do y'all remember Max?
I was there.
Were you there? What the hell? Right. So I had to make sure this guy never came in. But if I had that, I could have just said, hey, you're trespassing, you're not leaving. And I could have called the sheriff and they could have arrested him. Right. So I'm here. I know it's a pain in the ass. There's times when I forget my thing, right? Where I'm like, so, but it's out of precautionary, right? Just want to make sure that I keep you all safe and sound and all that good stuff. And 2, almost every other office, the agency does it, other offices have their doors locked. So, and so deal with it. I have to deal with it. We all deal with it, but it's out of precaution and just safety. Fair enough?
What is a real danger? Walking like danger?
No. No.
Don't play like that.
No. I mean, there is a guy that's kind of fixated on real estate agents right now. I sent a picture of him in the WhatsApp group. He's a little kookadoodle, right? So just saying.
He's in love with me.
He's in love with Steve, so he actually has come into our office asking for Steve. Right?
You reached that point, you're winning.
Yeah.
Become one.
Yeah, so
Steve who?
Steve Sachs.
Oh
And
my
then-
Lord.
Yeah, so the guy's just like,
Versus-
dude,
So the guy's crazy and he has bad taste. Oh my gosh.
yeah, so it's just like,
Just kidding, Steve.
I'm sure you are, Chris.
So that's why we had to have those no trespassing sign, so that's why it's above the placard, you know, like I said, it's just. And I don't know if you all saw the picture, he looks like a big Santa Claus, this guy, so if you do see him, just let me know,
It's not the same line.
huh?
And he's looking at her gun in all the wrong places.
Yeah, so it's just like, okay. But anyway, so that's it. So I just wanted to give you further explanation because a lot of people are like, why are the doors locked? Yeah, right? I'm just like, because they are. Right? Anyway, so, huh?
For our state.
Yes, because I love you all. And like I said, it's a little cuckoo out in the real world out there.
Same reason the door is locked on your house.
Yeah. Not everybody does that, remember to use it. And then the other great update I have is, I know that you'll all be happy. You're just like, Stephanie, finally, but we are getting a dedicated marketing person in our office.
Thank you, God.
So I'm super excited. We have Alejandro and I were interviewing a gazillion people. Okay, 6. But 6 people last week, and we are going to extend a offer letter to one person. They already are working at a Keller Williams. So they have the Keller Williams, they know the command, they know how to integrate, they have all these wonderful ideas. They'll physically be in the office. So then you can go chat with them and blah blah blah, except for Steve. Okay. He's not allowed, the door will be locked for you. I'm kidding. So just super excited. I hope this guy accepts the offer. I'm pretty sure he will. So he has great energy and great ideas, huh?
Will he do a spiel? Will you introduce him? Like,
Oh,
what
of
he's
course.
doing?
Yeah. And then I told him, I said, you can make this your baby, right? Give us a menu of items, all that kind of stuff. And he has one of the softwares that we're gonna get that sweeps the MLS. Like I think you have it too. Yeah, so we can have it from both. Like he let me know about it too. Where it sweeps the MLS every 30 minutes. So with the agents in the office, so then when they all of a sudden it bounces, well, you can probably explain it better, but that they get notified that it's a new listing, then they'll send Shadizzle to you. Yes. Right? So super excited about that. I know it's been a long time and a long time coming, and I just said, fuck it, hiring someone.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm just telling it like it is. Right? See, it even drives it. Oh, never mind. I was just so gonna say something, but I don't know how y'all take it. But anyway, okay. Huh? Well, I dropped the F-bomb, and our president dropped the F-bomb, and so I'm like, yeah, go.
I was thinking that.
I know, I thought it was kind of funny. Got it on whether you like him or not, that's not the point, it's just the point of it. I'll just shut up. Okay, Clearmark title! So I'm super excited. I've known Vahe for a few years, and he is the Clearmark title rep in Hollywood Hills. And just love and adore him, and he's just absolutely amazing. And he's going to be here helping you all with your business and title needs and all that kind of stuff. So with much love and respect, hey, come on down.
Hey. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I service the Beverly Hills office, the Studio City, and the Hollywood Hills. Hollywood Hills is my big where I do the most of it. I've been in title since '87, so over 3 decades. I know I can explain titles with my eyes closed. That's like, and just think always that everybody has to live somewhere. I know the world is crazy and all this, but people still have to live somewhere. So, and the easiest thing when somebody asks you, why do I have to have title? What is title? Title is doing what the DMV is doing for cars. we're transferring title, the pink slip of the car, we're doing it for the house, but more so. And right now, in this period, in this summer, this is the time not to get, this is definitely time to accelerate, push on the gas and work your marketing. I have some I love these maps and I'm old school, you can tell, I love paper, I love maps. These are colorful, it shows the zip codes where you're going to market yourself. And you can pick an area and it's good, good idea to pick and start somewhere with like 500 or 1,000 names. And then there are different ideas. In my territory, I work from La Cañada all the way out here. So there's a lot of people, ideas that other people are doing in other areas. And these I left back there. There's, this one is the West Side and the San Fernando Valley. So you can grab these. It has my information on there. Also, one of the other things, if you're all marketing, you can do mailers. First class postage is at 74 cents. If you don't want to spend that much more money, those obviously work. There's something called EDDM, every door direct mail, and it brings the cost from 74 cents down to 17 to 25 cents. So you go on USPS, United States Postal Service, type in EDDM, and it shows you the mail carriers. This mailman delivers to these 500 homes. This one goes, so, and they, especially like in condos, high rises where they're locked, you can't go in, the mailman has to deliver. So you can get your postcards in there, your stuff. So EDDM is a less expensive way and you can cover more people and you have to be consistent. So, you do it once, twice, it's not good. You got to do it at least 6 times, if not more. So keep marketing. Marketing is the name of the game. And so that's like the easiest and the cheapest way. The other thing I'm going to show you, I live in La Crescenta, and I came home one day and I saw this box. It had a different type thing on there. This was so cool. I'm like, why is somebody leaving me a gift? So this is from one of your competitors, okay, but we don't have competitors because we're the best. It was this. They had a letter, and and this is from Compass, and they must have spent a ton of money on this. So they wrote a letter explaining themselves, and then I'm going to leave this so you can take a look at it. And they made like a hardbound book, why you should use that. So it's like to the other extreme instead of just getting a postcard. So you can take a look at it, you can pass it around. So it was just, from take a look at it if you want and pass it around.
Can I make a side note too? We have these hard covers, right? We have a gazillion of them. We have the whole machine. So if you ever want to put your little packet together, we use them for listing presentations. All depends on the price point. So you're able to utilize that. So just make sure you ask myself or Brenda at the front desk, and she'll get them for you and help you.
Okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Anyway, and whoever, congratulations, you just got your first listing. When you're getting a listing, you should definitely get a listing prelim before you open escrow, before you get accepted offer. So there won't be any surprises and there's no cost involved. So because the big difference between a property profile and a prelim, property profile will show you all voluntary liens, everything you signed for. Prelim will show you voluntary as well as involuntary. You're being sued, IRS, child support, everything. And you'd be surprised. One of the examples that comes across, when Washington Mutual was around, they had a line of credit and they're like, oh, I haven't gotten anything for 10 years. I stopped using it. Well, it didn't just go away. And when you call Chase, they're like, oh, that's in our archives. It takes us, 4 to 6 weeks. And well, I don't have time. So get that listing prelim. It's really important. And it's so you can know, in the living trust, if somebody died, whatever. So you can get a lot of information. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. And the crazy it is, the more I love it, because I like to be challenged. And within all these years of doing that, I came across that and I love that. And the last thing I want to show you, I can talk forever, but I had a flyer made. I think it's pertaining. I'm sure you would know most of this. So it says, do you speak social media? And what it is, and you know how when you get text and it says LOL, laughing out loud or whatever, Well, there's a whole bunch of other ones. I had one, and I'm gonna pass this out. It's a cheat sheet, exactly.
I always had to ask my kids, I'm like, what does this mean before I respond? I'm like.
Exactly, we don't know, and I just thought it was so funny.
This is cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, okay.
Would you like one?
Sure, like fine. Yeah, I guess I know a lot of those are 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 60, okay, fine.
Oh, that's right, because I didn't know what TBH was for the longest time. Like, what is that?
Good, how are you? Nice to see you. So, the other day, one of my agents called me and he says, oh, I'm looking for this property. The guy's name is Jackson. I'm like, okay, so what's the address? So I run in and I'm like, no, it's not Jackson. He goes, no, I think Jackson is his first name. And then he responds, this was, of course, all in text. Like, I go, you know, what's his last name? So he texts back, says Dunno. I go, oh, Jackson Duno. I didn't know that Dunno means don't know. I don't know IDK. So that's how this whole thing got started. And so it's like a little cheat sheet just for fun. That's
Oh
all.
my God, I love it.
That's
And anyway, please hesitate to call me. I have a lot of ideas and how you can, you know, we have some great lead generating tools. We have a phone app. You always have your phone. So please call me and let's work together. I can't wait.
That's awesome, Bye, thank you. And then also, if you have any questions regarding shoes.
Oh, the shoe booty.
Yeah, no, you're just.
Oh,
you're-
shoes. Oh, I'm a shoeaholic. I have over 100 pairs of shoes.
He has the best shoes. Seriously.
So did mathematics too.
Yeah, well, then I need more title orders. And there's a great place to buy them. In the Beverly Hills office, down the street, Keller Williams Beverly Hills is at 439. 301 is the sample sales store. Every week it's a different designer.
Women too?
Women more.
What is it?
It says 260 LA. It's at 301 Cannon. And it's not just shoes, it's clothes and everything. So
Really?
oh, it's crazy.
So,
Yes.
yes, it's the best. Things you buy the designer item.
Oh yeah, it's like
80% off. But you have to follow them to see what brand they're gonna come.
yeah, every
But
week
it's
it's
a line,
well if it's
crazy.
I'll give you a great example. When it was Hugo Boss, and obviously there was a line, every man needs a black suit or another one. Suits were regularly $950, they were selling at $179. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
Bally shoes made in Switzerland, $900 shoes were like $129, $149.
Jojo, have you been yet?
Every Tuesday, new brand comes.
Right.
You have to go on Tuesday.
Yeah,
So
start-
you should be there at 8 AM.
Okay, we're moving the team meetings to Wednesday.
Whatever. That's nothing.
Actually, last time because we were supposed to miss the meeting because we had a.
There you go. Okay. Well, anyway, thank you, and I look forward to reach out to me, please.
Bahe, you're the best, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, who's up next?
I love.
Let's see. PRMG. So remember I was telling you that we have 2 lenders. So Jojo's gonna be speaking and then here's the formal introduction to
Yes.
our other lender. They'll have an office here as well. So I'll let you do the introductions, but PRMG, thank you all.
Well, it's nice to be here, so, thank you, Steve, thank you, and so, yeah, we do business with people we know, like, and trust. So I thought it might be a good idea to kind of give a little background of who I am, so you guys know who I am on a personal level. So, I live in Santa Clarita, I've been doing business, with mortgage business since 2002. And my wife and I are foster parents, so all of our kids are foster kids. So we
Aw.
have 5 in our house right now, ranging between 5 months old, 3, 6, 12, 14 and 6, actually, we have a 19-year-old. So it's a busy house. We love kids. We love them. They all got different, we're adopting 4 of them. But yeah, so on a personal note, I love the Raiders. I'm a Lakers fan, Dodgers fan. So, what else? Yeah, I think that's about it for on a personal note, but you
And
know,
you play doctor on the side.
I do. I'm the mortgage doctor. That's the brand. That's the stick. So, you'll see me wearing a stethoscope.
MacGyver at the office.
And that's my business partner, Larry, who will be here as well. And then Joe Tishkoff is another loan officer who will be making the rounds between us 3. So, what else? Let's see. As far as my work in the real estate industry. So I am very connected. Some of you may know me from the South End Regional Association of Realtors. I'm very involved in that association. So what else? That's and on that level. I mean, I figured I'd touch on some buy stuff and listing and then some marketing. So I just put some notes down. So on the buy side, for those of you who are buyers, agents who are buyers, one of the things I'm very good at is down payment assistance. So I'm a specialist when it comes to down payment assistance programs. We have someone in the office right now that they're very close to their son actually getting a $350,000 grant. So that goes away after 5 years. So I'm very connected to all the down payment assistance programs that are out here from the city and the county. Okay, so all the way from the state and nationally. So if you've got clients that maybe need a little hurdle over there, I can definitely help you with that. What else? More of a unique scenario is maybe not so many out here, but mobile homes. So if you've ever gotten a mobile home where you're like, I don't know who to send that to, what do? I do mobile homes. So we brought that into our portfolio about 3 years ago because we saw a value add for people who just don't have enough of that 5% or that 10% on a $800,000, $900,000 house. But 200 or 150 or 300, they may have 5% because mobile home only requires a 5% down. The 25-year term rates are going to be higher, but we definitely do mobile home financing on leased land. Okay. Some more you we do all the other programs out there, by the way, guys. And we do FHA, VA, we do those self-employed, bank statement, profit and loss, all those. I do fix and flips. I do a ton of fix and flips for my investors, fix and hold. So if you want to fix it up and then hold it, turn it into a long-term rental. So yeah, what else? DSCR, that's right. On the listing side, so we have a new program that came out just recently called the Power Buyer Program. And so if you've got listings that are sitting, but you had a seller who found the property of their dreams and they needed to have it or they missed out on it, right? Because their house hasn't sold yet. So this program is a bridge loan, right? So this program, basically, we buy that property for them so that they can move in, it's theirs, right? So we buy it on behalf of them. And then they ultimately, when they finally sell their home, they can buy it back from us. Okay? There's obviously costs associated with that, but as a new program that's worked well for a lot of agents, it turned, just recently we had an agent who got a listing and she became the buy side on that property as well. So there's opportunities for you guys to create. What else? Marketing. So yes, we're talking to Stephanie about what's called List Reports. So List Reports is a system that we have that basically, yes, if you're in the system, it will, if you have a listing that comes up, it automatically pulls and creates a single property website, gets you listings. If you want to do postcards, it has all of those elements for you. And then you can even go in and customize it yourself, right? Or if you're tied to one of the loan officers, then we can absolutely do that for you as well. Creating marketing materials. What else? Value. So I'm really focused on finding ways. My big thing when I'm working with agents is finding opportunities, creating opportunities that you may not have known were there, either through doing events. So I believe KW Maps is now partnered up with Michael Mayer, I think, through referral coaching. Michael Mayer is an event-driven guy. If you ever read the book called 7 Levels of Communication, that's the guy who wrote that book. He's now paired up with KW Maps to help educate agents on events, doing events. Michael Mayer and I have known each other for a long time. He was my coach for several years. And so I'm a big event guy. I generated probably over 1,700 referrals to events that I've done from small to big over many years. So, so if you guys have any interest in that, I'd love to sit down with you. Other than that, I mean, that's really it. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to be here more. You're going to see me and the team here. We'll be right next door, right behind this wall. So if you guys have any questions, you guys want to sit down and maybe you had some clients that, oh, maybe I didn't know how to create the opportunity or re-engage with them, let me know. We'd love to sit down and figure out how we can create more opportunities.
Do commercial lending also.
I do commercial lending, yes, we do it all. So I mean, the only thing I don't really do is land. So like unless you just want to buy a plot of land, US Bank will do that all day long. But if you want to put a house on it, then ground up construction, yes, we can do that for you. No problem.
But non-QM ones.
Yeah, non-QM, absolutely. It's your bank statement, profit and loss, we do those as well. We have a program where technically we, as long as you have a good amount of reserves, it's not an asset depletion program, but we could technically do a no employment, no income. So, so we have some incredible products. So there's not a client that, we can't put a plan in place either today to get through by or for them to find one down the road.
Do you do vacant land or you don't do it?
So if you do when I say vacant land, the only thing we don't do is like, if you just wanna buy a plot of land and do nothing with it. US Bank is the best place to do it.
Okay.
So, but if you wanna build up a house on it or put a structure, I got you.
Right, okay, thank you.
That's
What do you need for that to happen?
what, for ground up construction? I mean, that's quite a project, so I tell people if it's like, if it's a primary residence, I do err them on the side of caution, because that's quite a feat. But basically what you would need is general contractor, you need plans, and it's literally a plot of land. If utilities haven't been connected, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into ground up construction before you even start building. So, but we can get into more of that. Does that answer your question? Give you an idea? Yeah. Investors tend to be easier, the financing on those are much easier, there's less restrictions and oversight on investor ground up construction, those kind of things. When you start doing primary residences, you start having to worry about compliance and oversight that, you know, makes that more complicated.
To answer your question a little more, we're gonna wanna find out if you can get the land from get it entitled and shovel ready, and then like Scott said, the plans and permits and everything down the road.
Exactly.
So that, to start the construction, you need just plans or, cause he just said.
Well, so I mean,
So
for
you can't
you
get
start the
permits without
construction, there's a length process, so technically, if you have, I mean. You have to have the land shovel ready is what he used, is the phrase they use, so basically what that means is we have to have. The plans, potentially permits, depending on what you're trying to do, like there's a whole layer of ground up construction before you even just start digging. Like architectural designs, you have to get all these things in place.
But you gotta secure the land. You gotta buy
Yes,
the land.
yeah, so I can secure the financing of the land along with the construction loan.
Correct.
Yeah, so I can do both with that. I'm just saying, if you wanna buy a plot of land, just to have a land, US Bank will do that. But if you wanna build on it, absolutely. Cool. That was it. So I just wanted to come out and say hello to everybody. Thank you all. Look forward to seeing what we do.
Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Okie dokie artichokes, let's see. Woo! Miss Lynette, yeah, yay! Congratulations. Yeah, those last two deals that you closed put you into cat mode, so that was awesome. So she gets 100% until she resets. So congratulations. I'm gonna come back to that. We'll see, because I know Chris has his class at 1, so I want to make sure we're out of here at 1. So our other great lender is JoJo with Main Street. Come on down.
How do you follow that?
I love you, JoJo.
I got 5 minutes in, how do you follow that?
I got another love.
But anyways, welcome gentlemen to the house of Calabasas, you're gonna love it here, I've been here for, that's since I've been here. But in the same line of thought, value add, that's the key. Instead of just pitching rates and points and so forth. Relationships are built on what value you can bring to the table to you and the client. So here's one that I ran into the other day. One of our biggest lenders, Scott might even know who they are, but I won't tell you. But a loan pre-approval is a great thing, especially when gentlemen like these guys are doing it, they do a great job. I mean, he grilled me on a cross qualification. I almost hung up the phone with this guy. But, you know, if it's done correctly, there's a lot of documents, there's a lot of review process done to it, and it's 99% reliable if it's done that way. But every now and then, when the deal has a hair in it, or you're not 100% sure, or it may or may not pass the EU, hopefully it does, but there's some quirks to it that you passed, but you're still not sure. Your own officer's telling you, well, I don't know. The DU passed, but still not sure. Well, you got this guy, valves. Surf valve, if you guys remember that in the 80s stuff. Anyways, so what they in simplified measure. It's an option to get your file uploaded. An underwriter will review income, assets, credit, everything employment except for appraisal and title. And they'll issue some kind of a conditional approval on it, so you can walk away more confident in an offer. Probably not something you would do with all the files. I mean, hopefully you've got a guy like this guy that's gonna review it and scrutinize it like no tomorrow and make me go home and cry. I got beat up or something. But the point of the matter is, it's a nice added value to the file that can bring confidence to the table, especially when you've got multiple offers that you're dealing with. And we have it for all you agents. We even have it for Scott if he wants it.
I love it. I love
But
it.
anyways,
I love
welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
That's all I have for you guys today. Have a great selling day.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jojo. Okay, Louisa, I know you're a little under the weather. She's just wrong. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Louisa, did you want to say anything before? But I just want to acknowledge my amazing ALC, or our amazing ALC, Eileen, Monique, who's taking a well-deserved vacation, Alan, Lynette, Linda, Louisa, Roger. I appreciate you all immensely and couldn't do it without y'all. And then Debbie and Ashley. So thank you again for all your support with First Pacific Escrow. Happy birthdays, we went over those, and anniversaries, we went over those. And then congratulations to our May 2025 closed over 2 million in volume. The Galouz Group, Denise Marks, Lisa, Doug Pitts, Roz, Akash, and Team Smith. Woohoo! Yeah, so congratulations to all of you. And then Louisa, are you still on there? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm here. Just one thing is, Natalie opened her first escrow with us, so now we are in 5 open transactions. So we're pretty much doing very well. That's
Yep. Awesome, congratulations, that's amazing. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? It was like, echoing everywhere. Let's do. I know, I'm just like, wow. Okay, let me make sure. I don't really have time. I'm just gonna go through, some of you took my class on the 6 personal perspectives, but we don't really have the time for that. But I want to let you know, I had spoken a while back about an accountability course that we're starting. And so anyway, it's still coming next month. I'm finalizing everything. I know next month is Tuesday, so it'll probably be like starting July 15th, but it's a high level of accountability. You have to pay into it. So, because a lot of times people, if they don't have anything to lose, right, then they won't really participate at a high level, right? So it's just the same as coaching. Sometimes we take coaching for granted if we're not paying, but when you're paying $1,000 a month, right, and that's not what I'm charging you, also just chill out. Yeah, it's 2. Actually, let's make it 3. No, kidding. But if you're paying $1,000 a month for coaching, you're like going to show up to your shedizzle, right? So there will be a cost to it, and then you'll have probably 1 strike, 2 strikes you're out instead of 3. There'll be you can give me 1 excuse, but one time shame on, how's it go? Shame on me or shame on you.
Twice, you know.
Yeah, and then twice shame on me. That's just like
Fool me once.
full.
Twice.
Fool me once, fool me twice. I don't know. You know how I am with my
You know what you're saying.
things. Those, what are they called?
Same.
Cliches?
Saying.
Yeah, I never get them right. But I started off with the somewhat. So anyway, so I'll be getting all those details to you for those of you that want to do it. Like I said, the 3rd quarter of the year is paramount for you all, right? And I know that it's tough out there, right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and anything like that, that we have, our real estate industry has been, through the ringer really for the last 3 years. And then, we have world shidizzle going on and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of uncertainty just about life in general, right? So this is a way for us to all collaborate, come together, support one another at a high level, and just do some kicking ass. And like I said, Calabasas is all about setting the standard and just having you all show up at your best version of yourself each and every day. And sometimes I know when we wake up, it may not be always the easiest thing to do. Right? So remember what we focus on expand. So if we're focusing on people love doing business with us and I'm hitting my goal, this goal, and all that kind of stuff, then it just makes life a little bit easier. Fair enough? Okay.